Hi everyone, this is Diane. I have some fabric bundles in my shop. I will have 4 different listings for 4 different types of bundles, and only one of them, there's just one bundle available. It's like leftovers are in this extra bundle. So let's just get started. This in front of me is a bundle called Specialty Fabrics. So I'm just going to flip it over and we'll go through what's in it. So there's this kind of silky kind of scarf. I don't know what kind of fabric it is, but it's not just cotton. It's got a kind of a silky finish. It's not extremely shiny, but it's got pretty pink and purple in it. And it was a long scarf with fringe. So 2 of the pieces will have fringe and 2 of the pieces were cut from the center, so no fringe on those. This was a wrap skirt. I didn't know what it was when I showed it. I wasn't thinking garments, I was thinking home decor, and it had a long tie around it at the top, and then some of you suggested a wrap skirt. Excuse me. So I think that's what it was. But I thought it was a great piece for a boho look. It's got paisley in the design, which is very subtle, and it's got gold at the bottom. So I cut the ties off. The ties are made out of this kind of stuff. And so the pieces that I cut from the top didn't have this pretty border, so they got the ties. So you're either going to get a piece with the border or you're going to get a piece with the gold tie. And then I have this sheer piece that's covered with beautiful embroidery, and it's got a scalloped edge. It is gorgeous. And I don't remember if I got this, where I got it. I don't know if I purchased it or if someone sent it to me. If you did send it to me, please know that I kept a good portion of it to use, and I made this. I want to make more in different sizes, but it has a layer of that, so I'll be using that. And this is a part of the wedding dress that I'm about to show you. So this just, I think they used to call them lollipop flowers, but I don't know. I've never made one, and it's very simple, but I like it and I want to make more. And then you get a couple pieces of the wedding dress, which I bought it in a Ziploc bag that was stapled shut, so I couldn't open it. And the paper on it that somebody wrote said lace, or cream lace and netting. And it didn't say it was a cut-up wedding dress, but that's what it was. And it was difficult to cut it into equal portions, so I just did the best I could. So this is a skirt piece, and it's got some of this, I don't know what kind of ruffle you call this. It's pleated, and it's a ruffle. And it's really pretty, and it's cream color, and there's a bunch of lace, and there's a bunch of the sheer fabric, which is what I used to make one of the layers of that flower. So you can see it's just kind of layered up with different stuff. And I tried to make them pretty even. I know they're not exactly equal, but I did the best I could. And then this one has the front of the bodice. It's got lace. It's got, I think, 2 layers here. Yeah, it's got a layer of the sheer on top with lace and pearls, and then it's got the satin layer underneath. So that is one of the specialty bundles. Let me just show you what differences could be. 2 of the bundles got the lace sleeve instead of the bodice part. So it does have netting inside the sleeve. It's the only netting I could find, even though the label said it was lace and netting. So there is netting in the sleeve. There are these really pretty little buttons and the lace. And then you get the skirt piece with that pleated ruffle and some lace. And this one comes with the tie part instead of the border. That would be really great to use for a boho journal. I'm sorry about the lighting, it's not great. It's a bit cloudy. I'm sitting in my dining area and I have the curtain open, but it's late afternoon and not real sunny. This one has a bodice piece, but it's the back bodice, so it's longer, and it has a little bit of that of a narrower pleated ruffly lace around the neck and the skirt piece. Oh, actually, why does this one have two? I guess this has two pieces of the bodice because it's half of the back and the other one has the whole back. And then the fourth bundle, did I say there's 4 bundles? The fourth bundle has a sleeve. So those are the specialty fabrics. Then I have 3 bundles of fabric. And I don't think any of these are vintage. So let's just look and see what we have. They're all different. Some of them have the same, but a lot of the pieces are different. So this is like a heavier fabric with a tea theme, and it's really pretty. Kind of a reddish rust color with teapots and script and stamp markings, spoons, and it's a good size piece. 2 of the bundles, I think only 2 have a piece of that. I think, I don't know, 3 of the bundles have this. I love this. It just looks like watercolor. This is half of it because it's folded again. Isn't it pretty? And then this, it color-wise matches that. It's a cotton. It's not quite as heavy as that other fabric, but it's just beautiful with that reddish copper background and the flowers. I got some of these that went really well together. This might be one of them that I got at the flea market. The lady had them just kind of spread out on her table, and they just look so beautiful together. And I picked out the ones that I liked because they coordinated so nicely. I want to make fabric flips or something with them. This was a remnant piece that I found, and it's a really heavy upholstery. Not really heavy, but it's heavier than a cotton. It's upholstery fabric, and it's just so pretty. Looks like 2 of these bundles have this. Everybody gets some of these. These I just recently found. They're from the 80s. This one is in 2 strips. The other ones, in order to get each of the panels, there's 6 different squares. So some of them are cut just so I could manage to get one for everybody. One of each for everybody. So there's 6 different designs, and they're very 80s country. And they're really cute. And then just a small piece of this. This wasn't a very big piece that I had, so it's just a little piece. And I know these were part of the fabrics that I picked up at that flea market. And there are others too, but I didn't have enough to give oh, there's 4 of them here. Aren't they pretty? And they vary in size. This brown piece wasn't very big, but this one is bigger. And I think this one is smaller and that one's bigger. Because they were used, so these were leftover pieces, but good size leftover pieces, and so I just divided them up the best I could. And then this was from a very large curtain or sheet. I was thinking curtain because I thought it had a double rod pocket, but maybe it's from a sheet. It was big, so it might have been a sheet. But it is, I don't know if the color is translating, but it's a really pretty blue. Sometimes it looks like forest green, but it is a pretty blue, not quite navy. Really pretty. And this one has 2 pieces of that. So these are I have 3 bundles of this. And like all these bundles, The specialty fabrics will be in one listing, the fabrics will be in one listing, and the linens and doilies will be in one listing. And I'll just pick one. I'll probably already have them all wrapped up in tissue, so I won't be able to know which one is which. So I'm just going to send one when you order. This one is a stripe, blue and white stripe, very summery looking and pretty. And the watercolor one, that one, the upholstery fabric, some of the 80s little critters. And here is another piece that's a smaller piece. So pretty. I just love these cottons. And I think all of these were from that lady. Don't they go nicely together? And then 2 pieces of the curtain. This one wasn't seen yet. That one's pretty, and it's a pretty good size piece. I think everything else was already seen. Yeah. So I think these are nice bundles, and like I said, not vintage except for the 80s pieces. These pieces that I got at the flea market, yes, I got them at the flea market, but I don't think they're very old. They're just really lovely cottons. Before I get into the doilies and linens, let me just show you. This is the bonus bundle. So this is, I'm going to call it linen tea towel and etc. because it's just leftover stuff that I didn't know how to group it. So I have 2 towels that picture covered bridges in Pennsylvania, and they're different. I just got these at a flea market, and I ironed them. I washed them and ironed them. So it has a bunch of covered bridges, and then this really pretty scene with the horse and buggy coming out of a covered bridge, because some of these bridges are in Amish country. And here's the other one. Pennsylvania covered bridges and an Amish buggy again. I have, I think, 6 of these, and they're just kind of like a bonus because they do have staining. I don't know if you would want to use them. I would use them, but because of the stains around them, I just figured I would add them into this pack, and rather than just toss them. This one is pretty good. Then we have this. Remember this from a flea market? It's the huge embroidery piece that's on interfacing, a heavy interfacing. This is the back side. Let's fold it so you can see it. It's got purple flowers and green leaves and this blue bird with the huge plumage, and then these really pretty flowers at the bottom. It does have some stains on it. It's kind of rough around the edges, but you could cut this up and use it in many different ways. And then lastly, there are 2 pieces of this tablecloth that has the imprint on it that you could embroider. I didn't have enough of this to divide them up among the bundles that I was making, so I just put both pieces in this bonus pack. So that's what you would get if you purchased the linen covered bridge towels bundle. Then I have 3 bundles of linens and doilies. The linens consist of these tablecloth pieces. This one is printed, and there were 4 corners. It wasn't a huge tablecloth, but every bundle gets a corner design like this, and one of the smaller pieces like that, with these smaller flowers that you could cut out and use. This is from an embroidered tablecloth. And I think every bundle has a single flower kind of thing like that, and then a border piece that goes in a circle. It was actually a circle in the center of the tablecloth, but it was a continuous circle, so I called it a border. And we have this tablecloth piece, and I cut this one into 4s because I have one bundle that is set aside for someone, so that's why there's only 3 in the shop. But this one it's white, and it has, I think it's pale blue, almost white, but it's pale blue, and I believe that work is called Hardanger. But it's a pattern. It's all over the place on this, so fun that you can cut up into pieces and use in a lot of projects. Here's one of my favorites. This tablecloth was printed with turquoise and mint and very I don't know what era, 60s or 70s maybe. So there's different designs on this, so you get 3 pieces, it looks like, and there are some stains on it. And the designs will vary from bundle to bundle, but each bundle got 3 pieces. Then we have some handkerchiefs. This is just a plain white with a pretty hem, and this one is pink with some tatting, and then we have a white with blue. This is actually a napkin, I think, and it's got some embroidery in the corner. This one has more of the Hardanger work, so that's really pretty. And this one is printed. I love the colors, the green and the lavender. This one is embroidered. This one isn't a handkerchief. It's a decorative linen square. We have this sheer piece. So well, maybe only one bundle has this, but it's got the ruffle around and it's beautiful pink embroidery on a pale pink sheer piece. This is more like a homespun type of fabric, and it's got thread work here and a wide crochet edge. It's kind of tattered here on the end. And this piece is quite nice. Ecru color. It's got lots of squares you could cut out and use individually if you wanted to. It does have holes in the border. The rest of it looks pretty good. It's old, obviously, but it's quite nice. See, these things with all the holes, they would just end up getting thrown out, and we're giving them new life. Pieces with holes and stains. This one has some stains on it, but it's quite large round, and you can see, but these stains are great when we put them on our journals. We like to make things look aged, and that work is already done for you. And there's another doily piece, and then each bundle gets these 4 pieces that I cut. I don't know if you can see them. I cut them from a larger piece, and you can cut them apart and use them separately. Some of yours might be cut apart, and these 2 little round ones. And I use that in the center of this flower. One of those. So let me quickly go through the other 2 just to see what differences there are. We've got these are the same. This is a smaller embroidered flower from that tablecloth, but it has the border part. This one's different. This wasn't in the other pack, and it's this quite large piece with a beautiful green border, and then the green and lavender embroidery. that blue, pale blue and white, the pieces of the printed tablecloth, and here are the napkin-y pieces. So this one has fine, wide crochet all around it. This one has stains. Some of the napkins are not in great shape, but we're going to cut them apart anyway. This has white embroidery in the corner. There's that napkin piece. This one is white with blue tatting, and it is in rough shape. Look at that. But I would cut the tatting off and I would use this. I'm sorry, my air conditioner just came on. I think I'll go click that off because it is pretty loud. No, I'll bump the camera if I get up and move. This is a printed handkerchief. And a handkerchief with this pretty embroidery in the corner. A burgundy lace tablecloth or placemat. This one's really pretty. It's pretty old. There's this piece. Cut work on it, and again, this is pale blue. You can see the foxing on this. Old, and it's stained, but see. And in oval, factory made doily, but it's still old, I believe. It doesn't feel like the polyester ones that you see today. Good sized piece of filet crochet. I didn't want to cut this one. I would cut it if I was going to use it in a project, but each of the squares has a, or each of the sections has a different symbol. I think that's a tree, another tree. I don't know what that is, or that, but there's something different in each of the sections. And there were pieces, there were sets. I had a couple sets, and this is one of them, and it had a couple smaller pieces. And I believe that they were anti-macassars, where macassar or macassar was an oil that men would wear in their hair, and the anti-macassars were put on the furniture to protect. And some of these have pretty prominent staining and almost a purple look. This one is lighter, but it is still stained right where the man's head would rest. This would be on the back of the chair, but it's got pansies on it, and the staining is actually pretty. And we've got the 4 square pieces, and this is the color of some of the staining on the anti-macassars, and the little round ones. This is the last one. Probably most of it is the same. This is the same as the piece I showed, but this one doesn't have the embroidery up here. It just has the border, which is gorgeous. Love that color. The handkerchiefs. This one has a hole right in the center, but it's got purple tatting. I love the colors of this. This green and lavender is very prominent in these sets of linens I'm showing you. There's a plain white, but this is a nice thin fabric that would work for doing something like that. Other things like that. Printed napkin or handkerchief. A burgundy placemat. I think I showed half of this in one of the other bundles. Here's the other half. This one did not get cut. It's a whole piece, and it's very pretty. This matches the anti-macassars. Maybe this was for the sofa. And it does have a little staining right here. But it's a bigger piece. crocheted doily. Very pretty. And this was a smaller piece that matched some of the antimacassars, so this would go on the arm of the chair. And they would have little pins that they would stick in that had a long head instead of a round one, a long head that would hold these in place. But these are smaller than other ones that I've seen. And the other set that I had were made out of this color yarn. And then the little pieces. So those are the bundles I have. They will be specialty fabrics, fabric bundles, the linen covered bridge linen towel bundle, and doilies and linens. When the video goes up, these will be listed in my shop, and when you go to my shop and if they're not there, it's because they've already sold. So when I put up a video and I say that they're in the shop, they are in the shop at the time the video goes up. I've had people asking me, why are they never there when I go? It's because they've already sold. So, good luck. I hope you get the bundle that you want. And I will see you again soon. Have a crafty day. Bye-bye.